So, hello everyone, and welcome to the fifth last session of this course. There are 72 of us in the room, and we are beginning our session with Dr. Elena Mizrahi from Western Galilee College. I'd like to introduce her shortly. Dr. Mizrahi from Western Galilee College in Israel holds a PhD in applied linguistics from the University of Haifa. She is an AI integration specialist and global learning strategist, an experienced lecturer, of course, otherwise she, that's the raison d'etre for her being here, specializing in EdTech and internationalization. And she is also a CEO of Virtual Exchange Center, empowering educators, academics, and students around the world to connect and explore the potential of AI for their employability and professional development. Today, she is here to give us a lecture on grassroots leadership. If we are used to the notion that leadership is somewhat of a top-down process, then we should balance it with it being also bottom-up. So, Elena, the floor is yours. Enjoy, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So we're already almost 90 here. We'll talk about leading change from the ground up. And it's not going to be a lecture. I hope it's going to be something interactive. Students are more than welcome to keep your cameras on. Get ready to talk. You will be encouraged to ask questions, to answer questions, to brainstorm together, and make sure you are muted if you're not participating. I can hear someone typing right now. Also, make sure that your name on the screen appears in Latin, in English letters, not in different other alphabets.
The host can mute everybody without, so just mute everybody.
Okay, so we'll explore how grassroots leadership empowers individuals, each one of us, each one of you, to lead social movements from wherever you are. And I hope it's going to be inspirational. So we will begin. Let's see that that's my computer collaborates. And it's not. 1 second, it is stuck. But don't worry, we have plan B, plan C, everything is ready. Okay, let's hope it works now. The session overview, so you know what to expect. We will have some greetings. Again, I will introduce the panelists. It's not going to be just a lecture. It's not only me. We have several guests, esteemed guests who joined us today to introduce their organizations and inspire you guys. We will spend some time, well, you will spend some time with me at the beginning. We'll try to define grassroots leadership and briefly understand what it is, this concept. And after that, we will proceed to the panel discussion with our guest speakers, and then you will work in breakout rooms, coming up with your own grassroots initiative, right? Kind of a volunteer nonprofit initiative. So you will have to think of something interesting, and then you will present your ideas. Hopefully we have time for everything. I'm in charge of this session, but also next week I will again present with Professor Ronda Sofar, Leadership in Education. So again, thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Elena. You can reach out to me through email, WhatsApp, connect with me on LinkedIn. Let's stay connected. I'm part of this amazing group of institutions and partners at Impact, Inter-Mediterranean Peace and Collaboration Virtual Exchange Project. And I'm also briefly introducing now our esteemed guests who will join us a little bit in a few minutes. about their own youth leadership organizations. We have Courtney Adams from Germany. She's connected currently from Germany. We see that she's associated with USA and France. You'll hear from Courtney today. Naim Obeid, hi, thank you so much for joining us from ACO Center for Arts and Technology in the north of Israel. And I hope Zara is also here. We'll see. I already I'm getting lost with all the almost 100 participants on Zoom. So I hope Zara is also here with us. She's a co-founder of Future Holders. So we'll hear their founders' journeys, some success stories, interesting, ideas of how they overcame challenges, and what kind of strategies maybe we will see from the examples, from real examples of community mobilization. How can you bring this community spirit, inspire people, mobilize people, bring up volunteers, and so on and so forth. So before we proceed into to the actual definition of grassroots leaderships, I wanted to just share an inspirational quote. I believe, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead. And my first question to all of you, and this is kind of the big framework of this session, what does leadership look like without formal titles or power, right? We're not talking about political leadership today or other types of leadership, but I think it's very, very close to all of our hearts. And I'm really inspired and really honored to be leading this session. I'm really excited that we will talk about it. And you know what? Perhaps we will come up with some interesting ideas of new grassroots initiatives, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe we will earn some funding and do some big changes together. And this is the place and time for us to connect and learn about this concept and, get inspired. So please stay tuned, 100% focus, no driving, no multitasking. Get ready with your cameras because you will talk to each other, and get ready with your microphones and everything. And let's begin. We will start with a little game. We will start with the Kahoot. So I'm going to share a link to, sorry, 1 second, it's going to be post live. So I have just a few questions to find out your background, your familiarity with the concepts. And it's about grassroots leadership, and maybe it's a new concept to some of you. Let's find out what you already know. So I'm going to place the link to join this game in the chat. Okay, so please just follow the link in the chat and you can join this game right now. You can also scan the QR code. I have enough seats, up to 2,000, so 100 participants is no problem at all. Just join us quickly, as quickly as you can, so we can begin. I'll share sound or not, I don't know. Shall I share sound? For this here, again, I will duplicate the link to the Kahoot directly into the chat. Okay, we have almost 17. So we can start. Okay, I think we have more than half of you guys inside the game. I'm going to launch the game already because the time is precious. We have a lot to cover. We have a lot of interesting discussion with our guests, and I want to have enough time to brainstorm and complete your assignments. An interesting assignment today coming up. Okay, I'll give it just another 30 seconds and I will ask for your feedback right now in the chat, whether you can hear me well, okay, in terms of your connection. So on a scale from 1 to 5, can you hear me well? 5 is perfect. Just to see that you loud and clear. Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you for your feedback. Just to find out, because we can't really Okay, 70 is enough. One last chance, 10 seconds. Join. 3, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We're launching now. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Let's begin. The first question about grassroots leadership is whether you are familiar with the term, whether you know what to expect on a scale from 1, not familiar, to 5, you really know what it is, you're an expert in this field. Familiar or not? Familiar with the concept? Not really. 70 answers, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna see the results. Let's see. Show answers. Okay, 44% not familiar at all. That you wish there was a 0, right? Because it's the first time you're hearing this collocation, this expression, right? Grassroots leadership. Okay, 23 said a little bit familiarity. Okay, average 2.1. Great, that's an amazing starting point. It means that we will, learn a lot today, from like 0 familiarity to learning a lot about it and getting inspired, hopefully, as well. Next question is also a poll question, and it's about your own experience with volunteering. The red response says, I've never volunteered. Of course, it might go through. Blue says, I really rarely volunteer, right? It's almost never, but sometimes really not so much. Regularly is yellow, of course, I volunteer regularly, and the green one, you volunteer a lot. Let's see how active you are, how active you are volunteering. Okay, so 15, we had almost 80 responses, so it's a lot of you, almost many of you answered. So 15% have never ever volunteered in your entire life, which is interesting. And I know why, because I lived in another country. I'm originally from Ukraine. Now I live in Israel. I see my kids in a regular school, well, not a regular school, but still they involved in volunteering things from like very early age, and they participate. Maybe it's not like, cognitive and volunteering by choice, but they are introduced to this. And I remember my school years, we have never heard about that in Ukraine, in Russia. So it's interesting. Maybe things are changing, of course. So many of you have never volunteered or rarely volunteered. So we have just a few of you that are involved in this regularly or even actively. Very nice, very nice. Variety of backgrounds. Now, the first question is, what do you think grassroots leadership is? We have some options here: political leadership, corporate leadership, top-down or bottom-up. Yes, obviously, from the introduction, from the session abstract, how you introduce this topic. 5 seconds, and we are moving on. 5 seconds. Stay with me on code. We have just 2 more questions, and then. Okay, so grassroots leadership has nothing to do with corporate leadership. I see 15 responses there. It's not top-down. Top-down means that we have someone in charge and, orders distributed, so it's not top-down. Also, because 9 of you answered top-down, it has nothing to do with political leadership. It's the opposite. It comes up from bottom-up, right? From people, from the citizens, from anyone and everyone, okay? From minorities, anyone, like young volunteers, old volunteers. It's across ages, across social status. Let's move on. Okay, so this was the first question with an actual correct or wrong answer. So who often leads grassroots initiatives based on the previous question? 10 seconds. Give you 5 seconds. In the following questions, you will have less time. you adjusted to this concept that you have to answer questions. Let's see. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, ordinary people, right? Still, some of you chose other answers, but grassroots initiatives, it's all about ordinary people with no elected, official power or military association or corporate association, just regular, normal people, like all of us here. We can become those grassroots leaders, and this is my goal for this session, to inspire you. Here you can choose more than one answer. What is a strategy used by grassroots leaders? Grassroots leaders. What strategies can you envision in this kind of bottom-up, right? Led by ordinary people, leadership idea, social justice thing. We have 5 seconds, and at least 10 more people can respond quickly, because we've had 70 plus responses in the past and only 40 now, or maybe more. I'm confused. I see 55 and 42. Because it was multiple. Okay, yeah, you can choose both, right? Okay, that's correct. You're absolutely right. This is the way you can affect people and communities around you. 4 more questions, and we dive into the next part of this session. What is the key theme? Is it about politics, individualism, corporate profit, or community empowerment? 3 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Let's check. Okay, more than 70 answers. Perfect. Some of you were picked the wrong choice, right? 3 political powers. No, it's not about individual leadership. You cannot really be a leader, grassroots leader, by yourself. The whole idea here is that you need a community around it, and it's about community leading and you being part of this leadership movement, which is really empowering everyone, including, of course, the leading people. So let's move on. What's the characteristic of a grassroots leader? Political influence, corporate backing, formal authority, or volunteer-driven. So here you need to choose one characteristic of a grassroots leader. Okay, and it's volunteer-driven. Correct. Well done. Marja, Martina, excellent. You're competing for the first place. What is not a challenge for a grassroots leaders? It means that most of the answers are challenges. You need to choose something that is not a challenge. A tricky question. So be careful. What's not a challenge for grassroots leaders? There are tons of challenges, right? Lack of resources. Wow, you got confused. I got you. Okay. So what is not a challenge? As a grassroots leader, right, you will face a lot of challenges, like your volunteers will sometimes come and go. There is a burnout, right? It's very hard to keep it sustainable. There is a lack of resources, and there is sometimes institutional resistance. All of these are actual challenges. What is not a challenge is excessive funding, right? We wish lots and lots of funding would come to our initiatives, and then it's obviously not a challenge. It's the opposite. It's something that can boost our initiative. And I think we have just two questions left. What's the benefit? Why do it? Why is it actually so interesting and worth discussing and worth investing in it? Let's see, is it community trust, top-down control, corporate dominance, or political power? Right, you guessed right. It's absolutely community trust, which is a precious thing. You build your network, you build your friendship, support, you build the power of a community initiative, and this is a huge benefit. And the last question here, let's see. What is a global perspective on grassroots? leadership. Talking about the world, right? It's about political centralization, about military interventions, corporate expansion, or local empowerment. We'll come back to this question in a few slides. So it's not about corporate expansion at all. It's about local empowerment, but local empowerment does not mean only local problems. We can actually promote not only local community problems and issues, but also global issues, global problems and challenges on a local level. So this is something very, very special about grassroots leadership. It's extremely diverse, inclusive, and you can talk about anything and everything, right? Starting from small, very specific local problems and needs, and moving on to problems global, right? Excellent. So let's see the podium. Let's see who won this challenge. Carlotta, congratulations. You got the bronze medal. Gal Perez from Emek Israel. Congrats. And Maja, congratulations, guys. Martin and Mila, also, thank you for your efforts and for your answers. You were great. And everyone else, we have already almost 150 participants. Well done, well done. Let me just turn off the sound and continue with my slides. So, wow, the time is ticking. So I'm gonna be real quick in, I'll rush through my slides to again explain a little bit of the basics of grassroots leadership, because I want to begin my interviews. So it's going to be like a demonstration of your final course assignment, where you need to find a leader and ask them questions. I have invited some wonderful leaders from my network, and I will ask them questions, and you can also, of course, contribute with your questions. So let's just rush through my slides to finish them. I'm going to share my screen, and the slides are here. Then I'll go into full screen. Okay, so a very, very short and simplistic definition. It's, you know, it can be defined, of course, in a much more extensive way, and I will share some reading about it. But just to explain for those who were not familiar, those of you who are not familiar with the concept, grassroots leadership is when regular people step up to lead community change without any formal authority or official positions. It means anyone and everyone can do it. So it's community driven, it's bottom up, it's inclusive. You have to participate actively in order to promote this change, and it's collective action mobilizing people. So what if leadership doesn't come with a formal title, right? What are the characteristics of this grassroots leadership? So it's beyond any formal authority. Again, it's community driven. I will repeat this, really important concepts of grassroots leadership. It's trust-based, right? We talked about earning trust from your peers, from your communities. Again, it's bottom-up, inclusive, collective, influenced by local customs and norms. This is something very special because it comes up from special communities. And then it can also be flexible to community contexts, right? So can leadership thrive without formal structures? And the answer is yes, and I will show you some wonderful organizations today. Grassroots leadership as opposed to formal leadership. Formal leaders have official roles. They rely on official resources. Grassroots leaders must build and maintain community trust, right? So this is how ordinary people transform societal norms, right? You become grassroots leaders through community trust. So what are the community engagement strategies? You have to listen to the needs of your communities. You build relationships, you create ownership and amplify voices. You give the voice to people from your community. What role do volunteers really play in this, in all of this? Well, they play a very crucial role. They are the core of the movements of grassroots leadership. They bring diverse perspectives, right? Volunteers and big network brings various skills and perspectives in reaching these initiatives. it brings this sense of community ownership, right? Having a lot of volunteers strengthens community ownership through active participation. And it actually is really empowering, because through collective action, we build stronger community relationships and, you know, enhance this civic responsibility through these actions. I hope you're not getting bored from this vocabulary. It is a little bit cliche sometimes. It's not really inspirational to hear all these words, but I really want you to open your mind and open your heart, and maybe just in a few moments when we get to real stories, you will get even more inspired by this. So why do people volunteer their time and skills when there is no monetary gain, right? What motivates people to lead when there is no reward? Let's take a look. First of all, we can acknowledge deep personal commitment to change. It's the solidarity within the community. People feel that they want to contribute, and also passion for justice. I think these are the main skills, but there is also this sentence that I added, that grassroots leaders are driven by intrinsic motivations rather than any external rewards or recognition. So it's this passion inside your heart that is not there by default. You're not born with it. You have to ignite it, right? So I want you to actually get inspired and, you know, turn on this passion today in this session. Let's move on. 1 second, I just left the full screen by mistake, and it's better when it is in full screen. Present, 1 second. 2 more minutes and we are moving on to our guests. Ooh. Okay. Let's quickly, okay. Here, right? Passion for justice. Okay. The next point is, again, for you, I'm trying to sell it to you. I'm trying you, I want to convince you to get on board fully, 100%. So why? Why would you bother? And, you know, what is it in this for you? So real leadership can only be learned by doing. So this is the point, right? When you are involved in these initiatives, you will actually have the only chance to develop your real leadership skills, right? It's practical experiences, it's personal growth and empowerment, and it also enhances collective leadership. So if you care about your community, your country, the world, this is the place to actually, you know, have an impact. And there is another quote that I want to present. Leaders aren't born, they are made, and they are made just like anything else through hard work. So what practical skills can you gain or develop from being a part of grassroots leadership initiatives? It's communication, it's persuasion. You need to be able to persuade your cause, right? Your maybe fundraising skills, organizing and mobilizing groups, problem solving, negotiations. It's actually learning leadership skills practically and engaging actively in civic life. It's all very, very important skills for your personal development. How can grassroots leaders empower communities? So thinking about marginalized communities, minorities, they get their voices, right? You can build community self-reliance. They cannot be always and remain always in the victim position. We can actually empower, and they should know that any community can, you know, rise up and express themselves. And this is the place where future leaders are, you know, brought together, are raised. So it's really, really important that there is lots of grassroots leadership movements. There are lots of challenges. You remember from Kahoot, lack of formal resources, limited resources. There is volunteer burnout, institutional resistance, of course. Is it something that it's particular to one specific country? How universal is this thing? It's actually relevant to all of us. It's globally relevant, right? Grassroots leadership initiatives come from any and every country in the world. It's really culturally diverse. But what I think it's really special about it is that it addresses multiple issues, sometimes local and sometimes global challenges as well. So global challenges can be tackled from different cultural perspectives, and it's really the power of grassroots leadership. Some examples of what it can be. We can talk about gender equality initiatives, social justice, community development, and environmental activism. And we're moving on to panel discussion right now, this moment. Finally, I will invite each panelist now to share briefly their background and path to their leadership position in their organization. They will present briefly to us their organization overview, because it's interesting to see what kind of initiative they are part of. And if we have time, we will also dive in some interesting examples of some impactful projects or maybe some challenges they faced, and they will be happy to answer your questions. So get ready to listen carefully, note down your questions. Again, I will remind you that we have with us today Courtney Adams, Naeem Obeid, and Zada Haj from Future Holders. So let's begin with you, Courtney. I will stop sharing my screen. Please, I know that you have some slides that you wanted to share. And my first question is here. It's my screen. Introduce yourself, tell us about your organization and what inspired you to start.
Yes, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here. My name is Courtney Adams. I'm going to share my screen. Can everyone see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, my name is Courtney Adams. I'm from California. I've lived abroad for 25 years. So my journey has taken me to Germany, the Czech Republic, Austria, India, and France. And kind of throughout my life, I think the two of the core values that have driven everything I've done are, on the one hand, cross-cultural understanding, building bridges between people from different backgrounds, and really emphasizing, cultivating the fact and bringing to light the fact that there's so much more that connects us than what separates us. And the other one is gender equality. From a very young age, it just didn't make any sense to me that there would be any difference in opportunities afforded to someone based on their gender. And I have had, as I said, I've lived abroad for 25 years. I've been to several different countries. I've also had a very varied professional life. I've worked in education, youth empowerment, but also in HR, executive search, even real estate development and investment. And kind of along the way, I saw increasingly things that bothered me. And I saw for myself and for the women around me when I was a young woman, kind of a lack of female role models in the spaces that we were in. And also increasingly, as I got older, felt, wow, I've been at this for 10 years with this initiative. I previously founded another nonprofit organization, but that's a topic for another day. 10 years ago, I started to think, wow, the leadership I see around me doesn't reflect who I think that we are as people. It doesn't reflect me. It doesn't reflect the people I know. And I thought that really on a lot of levels, at the companies, the professional situations I was in, I didn't feel that the leadership necessarily reflected my values or my wishes. But then on a community, a local, a national, and an international level, I often felt like the government, the company leadership wasn't reflective of the world that I want to live in. And so that's why, together with my two co-founders, we started seeing mentoring programs to help encourage women and girls get into leadership. But they were programs for women who are already in corporate spaces. And with my co-founders and I, we all have a background in youth empowerment. We said the problem, if you wait until somebody is 30 and in a corporate position, you've already lost so many girls and women who may have chosen other professional fields, who may have chosen other educational fields. So for us, the idea was we'll start with teen girls. And that's why for the past 10 years, we've been dedicated to preparing the next generation of globally minded female leaders. Why is that still important today in 2025, 10 years later? It's because women still remain underrepresented in leadership roles in public and in public and corporate life and on a national level. And there are still roadblocks to education and career paths with girls and women in a variety of different ways, depending on their local and cultural and national contexts. And I find this, if you think about 131 years, the UN says, until we'll reach gender parity at the highest positions of power globally, that's really too long. We just don't have that. We don't have that amount of time to wait. But also for each individual girl and woman in the world, we don't have another 10 years to wait even. And I find it a particular pity that girls and women are still underrepresented in leadership, because in the meantime, all of the studies have shown the same thing. When you achieve gender parity, it's not just good news for the girls and women themselves, it's good news for the world around them. That leads to more women in leadership, leads to more stable governments, better decision-making across party lines, and more profitable and more socially responsible companies. And I think that especially in today's world, we see there are plenty of challenges that we're facing. And that's why I feel very, very passionate, very convinced still that it's so important that we empower today's teen girls to become tomorrow's female leaders, because we need all the best minds and we need a broad representation of all people at all of the decision-making tables, so that we can be making the best decisions, so that we can bring new ideas, innovative solutions to the challenges that our world faces today. And we started the teen years because they're the critical for identity formation. All of the studies show adolescence is when social pressures put girls' self-confidence at risk. They become susceptible to bias against leadership, and a lack of female role models, especially in male-dominated fields, can, even in the global north, keep girls from tackling or taking on certain professional fields. And what we see is that without support during these critical years, we're really risking missing out on half of the world's potential. So at Girls Gearing Up, we focus on 4 pillars: growing confidence, but for me, that's also a growth mindset, resilience, courage, gaining specific skills that they can use in their further educational and professional journeys, being inspired by female role models in a variety of professional fields. And what I've learned in the meantime is also girls from all around the world get inspired by each other, which is really cool. And then also preparing them to take action. So for us, a critical component of our programming is, now you feel courageous, you have these skills in your kind of virtual toolkit, you have seen what's possible, and now you do something, which is exactly what Elena was talking about. Every one of us, every single person can take action on an issue that matters to her or him, and that's what we want to show our teen girls that they can do. What we do is we have our international leadership academies that bring girls together in person from all different countries, cultures, religions, languages, socioeconomic backgrounds, for a very intensive week of leadership skills building and preparation to become tomorrow's change makers. We do that now in 3 countries: in Germany, Malawi, and India. We have a 12-month one-on-one mentoring program where we pair girls with an individual mentor who really can support them and cheer them on and provide them with skills and support for a whole year as they aim to reach their goals. We have year-round online and in-person sessions. Some of our online sessions are with future holders. So if Zada's here today, I will be very happy to give her a shout out for their amazing work. And I'm very thankful for the collaboration we have empowering young women together. We also give our girls access to conferences, internships, and we have a youth advisory board of young women who will help steer the organization. And this last thing I'm going to say just is that we've seen, when we started in 2015, exactly as Elena's describing, 3 co-founders, no funding, just the real thought. There's a lot going on in the world, and we think it would be a better place if we could empower teen girls to start making a difference. And we think we have an idea of how to do it. Let's check it out. One of my co-founders is an educational psychologist. She's been very clear from the beginning. We have pre and post surveys for all of our programs. And from the very first week, 10 years ago, every single program we've ever done shows about the same results. It matters when you give girls these platforms and these opportunities. and what keeps me going. As Elena said, why would a person choose to lead when there are none of these? There's no titles and there's no glory and there's no funding. It's because it's seeing the results. It's seeing these girls step up into leadership roles for themselves in their communities and in a broader stage. So that's kind of the basis of what we do. You know, girls around the world have done so many things, our girls, to make a difference. And I don't know, Elena, is this the time when you want me to share a specific?
Yeah, so let's move on to the other two speakers. And then the second question will be sharing some kind of impactful, successful story from...
Elena, can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
Hi, Courtney. Nice to meet you. My name is Nava, and I want to say, in addition to the very important work that you are doing, that on the 6th of April, there is a new book coming out in Israel. It is a book about innovation for teenaged girls.
Excellent.
And it is a book that is being produced or executed by a woman that has a real background with the space science, and she's part of the innovation. She's very famous in Israel for her innovation, and she has designed a book with several chapters on different technologies, and it's coming out on the 6th to encourage girls, teenage girls, to aspire and to understand about these different kind of technologies and there is cyber and AI, and for each chapter she chose one woman who represent the area and that can give an inspiration. And I'm very proud to say that she chose me for the AI chapter. And so this is coming. I won't be at the launching, but I have invitations if anyone wants to go. But because I'm out of Israel, but this is a step towards your idea of advancing young girls in order to show them that it is possible. And it's very important that we install that not only for teenage girls, but also for teenage boys, because everybody's confused today and whatever is in between also. But everybody's very confused today with all this information that is coming. So whoever can make a little bit of order, it's really contributing to their future.
Wonderful. Oh, that's a great. Thank you so much, Nava, for sharing that. And I would love to read the book.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Guys, students, please start wording in the chat, first of all, whether you get inspired, getting to understand a little bit more about grassroots leadership, whether it's growing. You know, we started from 0 to 10. Let's give it a 10. Slowly, I want you to send me higher numbers because I want you to get more and more inspired and motivated to join this field, this initiative, this area of life. I know that sometimes you feel like, why should I bother? I have no time. I have to study. I have to provide for my family. I have to survive. I have to do this and that. It's not a conflicting idea to become part of grassroots leadership initiatives. It can complement your life. It can be something that will enrich and empower you and actually make you a very happy and satisfied and successful person. And, you know, thinking of your own, you know, future job and profit and company, maybe for profit, whatever, does not conflict with setting up a nonprofit or like a volunteer organization or something that can really make a change and empower you in unprecedented ways. So I want to open this opportunity for you guys, because no one, when I was your age, no one has ever mentioned that to me. I had no idea this world existed. So let's move on to our next guest speaker, our esteemed partner in Impact Consortium. We have a youth organization from north of Israel, from Akko Center of Arts and Technology. So Naima Beid, will you please introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your journey, your story, your personal impact and contribution to this leadership movement, and what does your organization do? So tell us about.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Elena, for hosting me today, and thank you, Courtney, for exposing us to what you're doing. It was really interesting to hear all of that. Actually, today, can you see my screen or?
Excellent, thank you.
Okay. Very good. Okay. ACAT is Akko Center for Arts and Technology. First of all, my name is Naeem Obeid. I'm the CEO of the nonprofit organization. It's called NICAT, North Israel for Arts and Technology. I was born and raised in Akko. Akko is a small city in North Israel, shared city actually for Arab and Jewish. We have a mixed population here. And after getting to a place that I'm doing well at my business, I came into a conclusion that I would like to contribute more to my own community. And when I'm talking about my own community, I felt obligated to give, and volunteer and help in both communities, Arab and Jewish sector, all together. At some point, I've heard about this great person coming to Akko, willing to build a center. He's coming from the States. So actually, our center is a replication of the MBC model, Manchester Bedouin Corporation, which started by Bill Strickland, African American, who was coming from a very low socioeconomic level in Pittsburgh, and he wanted to make a better life for all people that are willing to, to earn their living respectfully. Women, low socioeconomic level, and he wanted to do this for African American and white people to serve also the unity and his shared society. So bringing that to Israel, I met with him. I was really curious about the project, and it really actually came to reality when I decided to step in as voluntarily in just the Amuta, as a member of the nonprofit organization, because I felt that this could be very powerful and would help my own community. And connecting to that at that time, I have to share with you that from my personal experience, when I was a kid, I was very used to live in a shared environment. I was born as an Arab kid, was born in a Jewish environment, in a Jewish neighborhood. I felt very comfortable back then. And I even celebrated all the, our holidays together. So we built the sukkah together, and we went to, they came to my house to build my Christmas tree together, decorated together. So in a way, I felt this is very natural to me. And through the years, I don't know what you hear about the news, but through the years, I felt something was getting lost in the way. And as a matter of fact, I didn't feel that I can give this opportunity, the same actually chance I had to build my connection with the other. I couldn't somehow transfer that to my children, like to my daughters. I didn't feel that I'm getting there in a way, because then I started asking about our educational system. I don't know if you know, but our educational system in Israel is separated. We have Arab schools and we have Jewish schools. And then I started asking myself, when they're going to meet? Obviously, after school, after high school, people will go to the academy and then they will meet there. But I felt there's something missing, because we need to build their skills of shared society, or their skills of accepting the other even before that step. And the sooner actually is the better. So this center actually gave this opportunity, and we decided to do it in actually 3 levels. The first one would be, vocational training for adults. That's for people in the need of vocational training, not the academy, people in the need for a job, to bring food to the table to their children. And guess what? When a mother needs to bring food to the table, she wouldn't ask who's studying beside her and who's actually her partner for the classroom. So we decided to do this, and it amazingly did connect people together around the common things. So what we tried to say, let's look for the common and bring it to, to be our own environment and build it to another level. The next thing we decided to do, if we want to do the impact, we should start early. So we started enrichment program for youth. And that's for getting them in here speaking universal language, a language of technology that all kids love. Arab, Jewish, Muslim, Druze, Christians, they will all speak the same language. And that was very helpful to connect them. And the target is getting them focused on the technology and the universal language that they all will speak, by the way. And then they will notice at this time how similar, how many common things they have, and they will start speaking about it in a very natural environment. One thing was very important along all this time. We really adopted to the model, the American model, in a way to say, Bill Strickland said, people, environment shapes people behavior. So we made sure to have a positive environment. And then we could also know that only positive things will grow there. So you can imagine that when two youth from different communities will meet on the beach, they will act differently than they meet on the market, and they will act differently if they meet in a shopping center or at the streets. So we wanted to make sure that their first interaction and first meeting would be at ACAT, a place that will respect them all, with a role model of mixed staff speaking all languages, hosting them very well in a very positive environment. And you can imagine that only good things will happen from that point on. And then we're meeting also many community needs, even galleries and shared art. And the center is becoming very alive in a way that's serving all people, and they all understand the language we're speaking about. So this is actually our vision, to connect people around the common things, do a better financials or socioeconomic levels, like advancing their level of socioeconomic, and then get used together from that. Just to give you an example, we decided to go not for the academy because many people wouldn't allow themselves to go to the academy. So we're looking for bookkeeping, payroll, entrepreneurship in business, and professional makeup, pedicure, nail building, and others. And then event planning, professional photography, security system, PC technicians, and now women hairstyling and male hairstyling. What's in common in all of these things? The community needs. And that you have to remember. We're answering a need, not because I prefer to do this kind of training or that one. I would like to give the best opportunity for our participant to get the job. And we know that there's a need for such vocational training in the labor. That's what leading us, actually. And we wouldn't hesitate to cancel one of these and get something else, or do more or less, depends on adapting to our local community needs. And about the youth training we're talking about, we had film and video production, 3D printing and photography. And guess what? It works every time. We get them all curious and interested. We didn't feel that any of the participants felt it's boring, it doesn't speak any language, especially if we have also a model how to make it work. We have two instructors at the same time, one speaking Arabic language and the other would speak Hebrew, not because we don't have an Arabic instructor that will speak Hebrew. That's because we want to support their environment. We want to support where they're coming from. And guess what happens? Suddenly they get over the language barriers. Suddenly they speak each other language just because they feel they're equal. And that's what we do here. We give them that feeling you are in a safe environment that will support you in many ways. And then they open up and get over their fear from the other. Just to give you a hint, since we started, we've been serving 4,921 participants, but I would like you to notice the balance between the Arab and Jewish. And that's for a reason, guys. It's very important to keep the balance, because the minute it's going to be 40% to 60%, no matter where, we're going to feel that people will feel minority at the center. So the idea is we'll never give them the ability to feel minority at our environment. They will feel equal with balanced numbers, because I believe when we lose the balance of the 50-50% towards one end, it's going to accelerate to the other side. So the 30% will be very quickly 5% and then 0%. And I didn't want to lose that, so we make sure to balance the number, especially for our youth activity. It's more sensitive than our adult and vocational training. And also, I'm connected also that we have a questionnaire to understand where they're going. I have to say that based on USAID that we're supported with 32% to 34%, we're positive about the other. And mainly if you ask what's going on the street, that's what would happen. After our program, they accept each other, they're willing to work together, and even that. A few pictures of our activity, because it's very important to show you actually how we get them in an environment that will always help them connect. We'll find our ways. Of course, also We're very adaptive to our environment. During the war, evacuees were everywhere, so we decided to step up and go everywhere to meet them, to give our services, to help. Actually, we redirected all our resources to those kids in need and youth, and we did open up to take our environment to them at hotels, at hostels, wherever they're staying, to say that we are, as an organization, we are part of what's going on. We're not disconnected. We're not only obligated to do what we came to do. We did open our vision to say we're there to serve our community. And it did pay back, because the minute the war stopped, the next day they were here because we were there for them back then. It was a very important step towards showing our intentions. And as a mixed group of staff and co-workers and you know and management and all of us together, sending a very clear message to our community, saying we're there for you, we're going to support any activity needed, and we need to adopt our vocational training and our youth activities to the local community needs. And the result, you can see it in your eyes, actually, with all these beautiful pictures, that is more and more and more people coming to us, even at a very difficult time. And we never stopped, even at most critical moments. We felt that we needed to be there. We have a mission, and that's what we did. Hopefully I didn't miss anything.
Wow, Naim, thank you so much. Your message, your examples, your pictures, it's really touching. I feel it under my skin, like the message is there. If anyone is not touched, not moved, let me also share my own personal impression. I went to the center, I saw the spaces, they are wonderful. I actually, the first time I stepped there was a lot of music and kids dancing, and they needed to break ice, and like there was this icebreaker when, you know, there is food and some kind of preparation, and there are many different classrooms. It's so inspirational. And I think this is just another example of something that you could become part of, right? Whether coming up with your own idea, thinking about your own community needs and how you can advance them. And if this is not a perfect job, you know, empowering youth and adults and your community, and, you know, bringing, well, you haven't mentioned your fundraising abilities, Naim, but this is maybe something we can talk in a bit. It's not really something that can anyone stay unmoved? Any comments, any questions? This is the time before we move on to the next speaker. And you got a lot of comments in the chat, so Naim, start reading those. We are moving on then to
yes, sure.
Thank you, guys. Let's move on, and the number is rising. Okay, we're learning about grassroots leadership, also trying to get more and more inspired, and the number is rising, I see. Okay, and our next guest speaker is Zada Haj. She's a co-founder of Future Holders, another amazing youth organization from Israel. So we are happy to meet you, Zada. Would you like me to introduce you, or can you just say a few words, because maybe you're shy, but I saw that you were featured in Forbes 30 under 40. I think it's really, really impressive. I just don't, and anyone here would want to have this title. And I know that you're really, really inspirational and active in social justice and in promoting also women's rights and leadership. So we're honored to have you with us. So please tell us your story. Tell us about Future Holders.
Thank you so much, Elena. It's a great pleasure having me with you. Wow, it's amazing. Even though we are partners with Courtney from Girls Gearing Up, it's still touching and inspiring to hear the story, the numbers, and to remember how much, like, together we are creating a bigger impact, also with ECAT, Naim, and everyone here. So thank you so much. Actually, my partner in Future Holders, Itai Varman, was supposed to give the introduction about our organization today, but he's not feeling well today, so I'm replacing him. And I'm just lucky to have partners like him and Amna. Zada Haj from Kfar Yassif originally, studied industrial engineering and management in Jerusalem. And then I studied in Stanford for investments. My first company established in the UAE, and then I came back to the social impact, which is Future Holders. At Future Holders, we envisioned a world where women, when they get the right education for the right technologies, they can also save the planet, but also we can accomplish diversity in the most powerful impacting the environment positions, such as green technology companies and initiatives. So Future Holders is a training program for AI and technology, specializing in the climate aspect. We train teenage girls from Israel. This year, we decided to focus on the North district because it was very damaged by the war. And what we do is actually we train in different programs. The main program is 120 hours of AI, climate education, and leadership in innovation. In this program, they learn in their schools once a month. Thank you, Courtney. Once a month, they go to the high-tech company where they meet with other groups. And this is where they are exposed to another ideas, to different kinds of religions and backgrounds here in their communities, not very far away from each other, but they meet in the high-tech. And this is like how we break the glass ceiling between these teenagers. On the other hand, they get the exposure to role models where high-tech mentors, female and male mentors, help these students to build their ideas to solve some environmental problem in their villages or moshav or kibbutz or city. So each year we usually finish this program with more or less 70 participants from different groups, different schools, with almost 10 to 15 environmental projects, which one of them survive to become a real a project that really can save the environment or can raise awareness. The second program is more like international, where we want to remind the girls that it's beyond Israel, it's cross borders, it's an environmental problem that everyone should be concerned about and to work to change this reality, not only for our generations, but also for the future generations, no matter what is our religion. And we see like the opportunity in the tech gap of having more females is like jumping on that gap and say, we want to focus this leadership, the next generation leadership on the green technology. And this is where they work in an international program with our partners, Girls Gearing Up, on developing SDG-based innovations. They research for the right challenge. They use the most innovative AI technologies to define the right problem, to understand how they can today generate a new innovation in a very shorter amount of time. And eventually they end up with an international network of girls from Malawi, from Israel, from sometimes other Arab countries like Morocco. We have from Germany, from many different countries. Each year it's like more and more exciting. They end up introducing their ideas. But again, the goal isn't having like a new initiatives, the disruptive technology from a 14 years girl. We more aim to build the next generation leadership that is more focused for environmental and gender justice. I hope like I gave a overview of our programs. It's two programs, one international, one local, and we have the partnerships with the high-tech companies, organizations such as Girls Gearing Up, and we always aim to have also partnerships with the ECAT and other organizations here that we can actually scale our impact together and raise our voice, that we also can do it in the right way, and it can help everyone. And it's cross borders, cross politician, like it's a geopolitical problem here, but our environment, female leadership, and innovation can really manage these obstacles.
Wow, thank you so much, Zada. I would like to ask you a personally question before we proceed to the question for all panelists, which is thinking about one particular maybe success story from your organization that represents the impact of your organization. So talking about your personal stories, Zada, how did you come to become a co-founder of such an organization? Because I don't think our students, we have more than 124 already. The number is growing.
Wow.
Connected here. I don't think their dream is like, you know, I'm doing a degree and my dream is to be part of a nonprofit. Like, it's not something that students dream about, right? When they do the degrees there, they have other ambitions, other thoughts. So somehow you amazing people come to the place where you are. So what led you to this position? How did you come to this passion?
It's a great question. Thank you. I will take it a little bit for a personal, not as a future holders, like a more a personal, how it met me in my career. When I went to study industrial engineering, one of my concerns was like, I'm studying a major that is more like materialistic, and it's all about saving and efficiency and effectiveness and the right management and engineering to get the most optimized processes. And I ended up thinking like, I don't want to be in a so materialistic world. I really want to have some kind of impact. And this is where like I found the gender and environment. Like I can manage to have a more materialistic world that is driven by impact, that it can be a beautiful world in these ambitions that we can take it for the benefit of everyone. So you don't dream to have a non-profit organization or like a social driven enterprise only. But when you are in a conflict zone or in a war zone, or like you have no idea how much these non-for-profit organizations are saving the situation, because sometimes big systems fail to manage. And this is where like the non-profit and private sector actually work to achieve the change that we need to see. And this is like where I see the nonprofit is meeting me and us as future holders when we meet girls, Jewish, Arab, Muslim, Christian, Druzi, Muslim, everyone, like everyone is meeting, working on environmental problems. They understand that we have a bigger problems. It's not about a small land. It's about like all our planet that we need to save, and let's talk about it. This is the impact that you can see in nonprofit. In the business, where I also worked in business, it's more like you can take your business to be impact driven business. So it doesn't say this or that. It's where you think you have the more passion to take yourself and to give back to the universe.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Every word is to the point. And just sharing maybe my personal story, I'm an English teacher from the beginning with my degree, and I've been teaching English in higher education mostly, but I have developed into many different roles in teacher training and founding my own company, continuing my academic career, but also, yes, I think my next dream is actually to build something with grassroots leadership movement and initiative ideas. So I really want you guys, students here, to come up with something special. It doesn't have to be unique. You know, some problems are universal, and we can tackle any problem that touches your heart, and maybe come up with something together, because no such organization can survive from one founder. So we need to be co-founders. We need to be a group of people with a common goal and shared values. And I really look for more people to join me, because this is my next dream, and I hope we will inspire more and more for you to join this movement. We have another important question because we want to hear more, maybe a success story from one of your, what can you remember, something that really highlights how important and how impactful these organizations can be. Courtney, we're back to you. Would you like to share?
Yes, I might just also have to say, Naeem, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for your work. And Zada, although I already know Zada and I know your work, it's always it's really lovely to hear in your words why you're doing this. And I'm very honored to be here with such fantastic and important, impactful people. I think for me, a very classic or really wonderful example of our program and its impact for me was in 2020, of course, we couldn't have our in-person leadership academy. And until that time, we had really focused more on in-person programming because I'm from an older generation and we weren't yet absolutely convinced of the impact of online programs. And when 2020, when COVID happened, we had to keep everybody at home and we did a summer program instead of our in-person leadership academy. Over 10 weeks, all summer long, we met once a week and the girls met in small groups, which is really similar to the kind of programs that Zada and I do now, but it was new at that time. And at the end of that summer, we thought it was a good program. It wasn't as impactful as what we usually do, but we'll take it. It was good. And then 2 months later, I got an email from one of my participants in Malawi, and she wrote to me, "Dear Miss Courtney," which is not a name I insist upon. I go by just my first name, but she's a little bit more formal. And she explained that the program had been so important for her, completely life-changing. She said it changed my perspective on how I see myself in the world, how I see my ability to make change in my community, and I know that other girls in my country need this program. So please find attached my project proposal. Will you support me in doing this? And she's 16 years old and she sends me a 4-page project proposal with all of the things, because that's part of what we do is how are you a change maker, right? Here's our project management module, here's our time management module. And she did it. And and I read through this 4-page project proposal and I thought, there's no way I can tell a 16-year-old girl, like, I don't know how to help you. I've never been to Malawi. I don't have the funding for this. So I just said, you know what, Shindi, I had tears streaming down my face. This is exactly the point. This is the point that a 16-year-old says to herself, I see a problem and I can solve it. And so I said, Shindi, let's do this. And together, virtually, we founded Girls Gearing Up Malawi. She found an adult ally who was a teacher who became one of my very close confidants. We spoke every single day for months and months, getting this all together. And now Golda is our site director in Malawi. Chindi was there as a peer leader the first year when we piloted with just 10 girls. She went back as an intern the following year. And now, we do the GGU Malawi Leadership Academy every summer with 25 to 30 girls, and that's her work. That's the result of her initiative. And we've grown it, and she's moved on. She's at the university. But she called me up this fall and said, Courtney, I'm at the university, and in the town where I'm studying, I have this idea with some of my colleagues, one of my university friends. We want to start a weekend empowerment program for the girls in the community, but I'm having trouble getting it off the ground. So she and I sat down online for an hour. We worked through the project plan, and she's been doing this now for the last 5 months. She sends me pictures, she sends me videos of her and her friends. They've also got a group of 30 girls that they're working with in their community. And for me, that's exactly the point, that each of these girls, and she's one of many. I mean, she's exceptional, but I could spend the rest of the afternoon telling you about girls who have gone home and they've developed apps and they've developed curriculums and they've, supported this project. And for me, that's the point. And every time I feel, sometimes it happens with a lack of funding and a lack of resources and all of the things that we know comes with grassroots leadership. Sometimes I feel like, wow, I'm not sure I can keep doing this. And every single time somebody sends me a WhatsApp message or an email or calls me, and then I think, okay, I know why I'm doing this, and I know that we won't stop. So.
Amazing. It's really Really amazing. Thank you so much. I hope this can also inspire again students today. Look, you can all come up with an idea, come up with a proposal. And you know what? There are people with money. There are people like sponsors, the businesses that already have earned their fortune and they want to invest. They want to do some social justice, some kind of promote these organizations and movements. So it's up to you guys. Just, come up with your passion. Let's put our joint forces together, apply for funding, and this could be something really meaningful and big coming out of this course. Wouldn't that be amazing? Naim, do you have a story to share? Maybe briefly, because we want to have enough time to work in the breakout rooms.
Yeah, sure. I assume all of us could share a lot of stories through the years that we had together here, but I want to make it as simple as it is. I want to take it to the lowest level at some times, and we need to draw the line between success or not. I want to take it that low that I want to tell you in every two students here, or two youth actually connected from Arab and Jewish school together, becoming friends or even accepting each other, I feel the success. Because if I look at their background coming from their own community, their own environment, never interacted with the other, I assume there's a lot of fear and tension without even talking about it. It just exists there. And you can assume that each side of them is actually fed by his local media. Okay, so the Arab sector will actually listen to their media and the Jewish will listen to their own media. And you can imagine that they're very separated from each other, and they sometimes will talk the opposite. So they have already in their mind injected with so many bad stereotypes or bad ideas about the other, and these youth will grow into fear from the other. So each time they meet here, after the third or the fourth sessions, they start speaking to each other, understanding that he's a simple kid like me. He's got even an iPhone. Oh, he plays Sony PlayStation. We eat the same food. Actually, it doesn't matter if it's kosher or not. We still can eat, food together. It gives me like a lot. It recharges my battery, and I can see in their eyes shifting from fear, actually, to actually respecting each other or accepting each other. Now, I'm not talking about, in some cases, they grew into friends and they keep in touch after our program. That's the biggest success. But even if I take it even for a simple matter, I'm okay with that. And I'm talking about 1,024 students a year, which is 700 of them probably youth. And I feel that we achieved a bigger circle every time by getting these kids together.
Wonderful, very, very inspirational, and I can't agree more. This is something you don't need any other reward, right? This is your reward.
Yes, absolutely. Refilling our batteries.
Yeah, that's really something worth working for and towards. Thank you so much. Zada probably had something in her issue. So if you're back with us and you want to share, we will give you a few minutes, Zada, in a moment. So I would like to allow some time for our students to maybe dive into the assignment and try to think of their local needs and communities. It's going to be international, so I'm really curious to see how they can tackle, their local needs with the global issues, and how Israeli students can collaborate with Greece and Germany and all other countries represented here, Argentina, and so on and so forth. I'm gonna thank you again so much, our panelists, and if you can stay with us, I would really appreciate, because we want to have some time for Q&A in a moment. If anyone wants to say anything right now, I see that you're receiving feedback in the chat. Please also share more feedback, guys. Don't be shy. And I remember that you have a lot of questions usually, so this is the time for you to ask. If you want to ask anything from our esteemed guests, this is the time. Because I have a list of questions, but we have no time on the question.
I think that the best if we move down to a breakout room activity, so that people can draw from these insights and inspirational ideas in order to discuss them.
Yeah, who wanted to ask one? Maybe we can take one brief question before we move on. I'm just getting ready with my screen.
My question is really short, and probably the answer will be really short. First of all, thank you all for all the lectures. It was really inspiring. I was like not blinking even. It was amazing. And my question is for Courtney. I wanted to ask you about, can you give just maybe one advice, like 2 words or I don't know, a sentence for a young women that want to impact, that want to be a leader one day, that influences people, please.
Well, yeah, thank you very much, Alyssa. Thank you for the question. I think that what's really important is to kind of know what your like North Star is, what matters to you, what are your values, and then not be afraid to stick with them. I think that's one, just know what's important to you, know what your values are, and know what your value is, and then follow that. And then my second one, but not only as a change maker, but as a human being in this world, is surround yourself with people who are going to be cheering you on, because that's how we can get from here to where we want to go.
Right, absolutely. I can't agree more. It's absolutely network and support and being there for each other, also giving yourself to others, but then you will see, you will get it back. Thank you, Lisa, for a wonderful question, and thank you again, our panelists, for introducing your amazing organizations. I hope students got inspired. So we are going to.
Sorry, can I have a question too for Courtney?
Yeah, can you please post it in the chat? We'll see. We will hopefully.
Yeah, okay.
Towards the end for some additional questions, and we do want to allow you to interact with the speakers. I just want to begin introducing this assignment quickly. So you will now reflect on a local issue or something that maybe matters to your heart. You do not have to envision yourself as the CEO or the leader, just be a co-founder. So your group of 4 or 5 students together, thinking of something you could put together. And you can be, creative in terms of what kind of issues can you tackle? Can it be maybe your campus or your local community, or maybe something even global, right? So you've heard of some examples, environment, gender issues, whatever, whatever concerns you. Even as an English teacher, I can think of a nonprofit, right? Providing a network of English teachers who can support kids, volunteer teachers, like extra hours learning English or something like that. That needs massive commitment from a community, organizing everything, scheduling everything. So why not launch something like this together? So this could be one of your ideas. So we are going to do it now in breakout rooms. Think about your vision, your purpose, maybe come up with a name for your company, for your organization. Let me show you what else. We will skip this. We will come back to these slides also next week when we talk about educational leadership, and you will continue developing your organization and its educational curriculum. So the work that you're starting right now will be continued also next week. But I want you to have an idea. And again, be really flexible, because whatever you come up with, is not something final. You can always change your mind. You can always come up with another idea later on. I'm sending the link to this Padlet. It's already accessible on our Moodle.
So, Elena, how long would you like to allocate this?
So let's give students about 15 minutes at least. Okay.
Yeah.
30 minutes. So basically, when you're join this Padlet, you will be now automatically placed in one of the 30 rooms, right? We have more than 20 participants, so we want 4 or 5 people in the room. Even if you're 3 or 2, that's fine too. Get to know each other, open your time to actually, interact with each other. And if you're in room 17, for example, click on the 3 dots here, and you have edit post option. So when you click on edit post, I have created all the questions you need to consider together, and you can answer as many as you can. In student names, please provide your names and country of origin. We want to see which countries collaborate with which countries. That's interesting too. It's spontaneous, right? It's random allocation. So please put your names and countries here. And then I will enlarge my screen to explain. So the fields are here for you to respond. I think the first step, the first logical step would be to identify some community or the audience you want to serve. Do you want to serve, younger kids? Do you want to serve elderly, community of elderly people? Do you want to serve students? Or do you have some other problems? Maybe refugees, maybe, displaced people or families or young kids, whoever is in your mind, discuss this and decide who you want to serve with your organization, and then describe some problems, right? You will also try to come up with an organization name. Why not? And maybe even a mission statement. Again, this is something big, but it can be just one sentence. What are you going to do in your organization? Of course, we won't have time for actually diving into activities and community engagement plan. That's something that we will do next week when we talk about educational leadership. But I think just thinking about your target audience problem, maybe coming up with a name and mission would be amazing for today. Remember to add your names, and then click on update and everything will show up here. You can also use, when you do the edit post, you can also upload an image, a logo, or something inspirational from the internet that represents the problem that you are discussing in your room. Whatever comes to mind. You can take a selfie if you want and share your picture here as well. Whatever comes to mind, whatever you want to share, you're more than welcome to get creative. If you're absolutely stuck and you have no idea what to do and you don't get along for some reason, go to AI. I'm not asking you to do it from the beginning. Try to postpone this part. But if you have no ideas, just ask AI to recommend you something, and you will get 50 ideas and choose one that talks to your heart. Okay, so I'm happy to answer any questions right now before we launch the rooms. Any questions?
Okay, so we're now going to disperse you to the rooms.
Make sure you enter the Padlet, because once you're in the room, you will not be able to. Well, you can always go back to Moodle and find the grassroots leadership section and click on the link from Moodle. And also, if you're 5 people in the room, one person is enough to actually, take notes, or if you want to contribute more than one, that's fine too. That's up to you. But it's not necessary that all of you write, but all of you need to contribute, of course. Okay, so let's begin our 15-minute inside, and then we will see the results in 15 minutes.
All right, so see you in 15 minutes, guys.
Excellent. Thank you, Yoel.
Okay.
Wow, 30 rooms.
Yeah, it could have been done with less, but I think it's good. 30, it's is a good
manageable. Yeah. Let's make sure all
Teacher,
of them.
I have a question. I've been assigned to the room 21, but I remember that my group is in number 23. It's okay, or it just
Today we're totally random. It's not based on any previous assignment. So you're in a new room with new people, get to know each other.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I have identified some
That's
lonely students. Just one student joined, so I will move.
Excuse me, can I ask? I joined room 15, but I guess I'm alone in that room, and I'm not sure why.
Okay,
So,
and I'll assign you to another room. That's fine. We'll put you in 14.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
okay. Magnus and Summer will also assign you to other rooms. Okay.
Where do I join the breakout rooms? I can't see the menu anywhere.
You can see the menu. Sunday.
I'm supposed to be in group 28, I think.
No. These are different groups. This is randomly assigned. It's not your main assignment group. So
okay.
yeah, we're going to assign you. Where are you? So I'm moving you to room 22. Okay.
Thank you.
Hopefully you're not at number 4 anymore.
Oh.
All right.
Okay,
No.
take someone from room 11 to room 10 because it's the room 11 is empty. Room 10 has 2 students. And we have only 1 student in room 11. Okay.
I was in room 11, but
Oh.
one responded there, so
Okay, we can move you around. That's fine. Let's
yeah.
place you somewhere else.
Yeah, thank you.
Yoel, can you move your bed from?
Wait, I don't.
Okay, I found.
I was in room 11.
Yeah. Okay, I'm moving you to 10 though.
So who else is here?
Yeah, some of the people here are teachers. You see, for example, Elish Mueli.
Yeah, but Sana isn't, and Anna isn't, and Lasse isn't.
Right. Yeah, probably just away.
Yeah.
See, room 23, I will move the student from there to 28. And also 27 to 28. We still have enough time. Okay. Okay, now we have 4 students in 28. And this is being recorded, and hopefully those who are not connected will be watching this. You guys also need to your own initiative and submit it on.
Wait a minute. Alessio is here with us.
Yes, okay.
No, he is in room 15.
Maybe, sometimes people join from 2 different devices.
That is possible. So we have 20 of those?
No, well, I think half of the 20 are teachers, and the others are not
Sorry,
by
just
their
to
computer.
ask about something. I'm with the group 32, but in Zoom I was with the breakout rooms with the room 17. It's okay?
Yeah. Today we are not doing it according to your final assignment. It's random allocation. We want you to get to know other students as well.
Because no one was speaking there, then I quit the Zoom and the breakout rooms, and I want to search my group.
Manan, were there other people in the room in 17?
Yeah, there were 2 people, but they don't speak anything.
They don't speak?
I don't know.
Okay. 17?
Yeah, 17. But I'm with 32. Our group number it is 32. All the time we work on this number.
But Manal, today is a different random group. It's not the assignment group number.
Okay, just because I want to ask also something because I feel lost, like lost. I don't know what is happening around me. Because it was Ramadan, I skipped one of the sessions before. Then there was the first assignment. I didn't do anything, so that also I need more explanation. If someone can help me with that, yani.
What assignment are you talking about, Manal?
The first one, the first assignment.
I don't think there was no assignment yet. There's only the group assignment.
Just to make a group. I made a group, by the way. I created a group, and we introduce ourselves to others. That's it. There's
Manal,
nothing else. Yes.
Manal, you were in group 17, though. I just was there. There were two people there that were responsive. Can I send you there?
Okay, if you want to
Yes.
send me again there.
Manal, after we finish the class today, you can ask questions. You're just going to be here. We'll take any questions that you have. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Angela,
Can
question?
you please? But it says that you are.
Hi, I have a question about the assignment. I think we finished, but have we? Do we have to do the mission statement part, or just?
Yeah, try to do as much as you can. There is not much.
Oh, okay.
Try to answer as many questions as you possibly can.
Okay. Also, I have another question. We are 3 in our group, but there's one person that is not there.
As long as you will get along with just another person, that's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Wonderful.
How can I go back to my room? Here, maybe? No.
Which room were you at?
13.
13, great. So we'll try to send you there again.
Thank you.
So don't respond to 12, but then respond to 13. 1 second. Now 13. Go.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, sorry, I also have a question.
Go ahead.
I was thrown out of the room because of bad connection. Can you please just send me back in room 29? Please. Thank you.
No. Yoel, how much time do they have? Because I don't see the timer here.
Well, they have like 3 or 4 more minutes. All the guys that are here currently, are you with us? Emil, Mirko, Anna, Lasse, Joachim, Ivona, Clarissa? Not that much. So then I think I'm gonna close the rooms in like 2 minutes.
Okay, and then we will allow them to present those ideas that they have already posted.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You think you'll be done on time? I will have to ask for 5 minutes to have some
announcements.
To give some updates, but
we'll see. We'll have 10 minutes. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Do we have like an urgent question to some analysts?
So I'm closing the rooms will close in 1 minute. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, in 60 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds and everybody is here. The rooms are closing. And we're back on.
Welcome back.
Okay. Yeah.
By the time you figure out how to add your ideas on Padlet, the time is up, right? But we still have a lot of students already posted, and you can keep on working on this. We are going to continue next week. You will have to continue this assignment, so you can keep on working. It's the link is on Moodle. After you finish this little project, you will also submit this for assignment on Moodle for like a real little mini grade, right? We have those weekly assignments. And forget about the grades. Let's talk about your amazing ideas. I'm going to share a screen and see just a brief overview, and then I will ask some of you to briefly present your ideas. Do you have this inspiration? We'll see, like again, just for those who haven't figured out, like, I don't know if room 6 was active or not, you need to click on the 3 dots in the right corner, and then you have edit post option inside Padlet, which when you press on it, you can add files, links, pictures, and answer questions with the prompts that we have prepared for you, okay? So it's important for us to see your names, because this is how you will remember where you were next week when you have to reconnect to the same room to continue working on this assignment. Hopefully also you added your institution or country. So we see that breakout room 13 hosted Spain and Slovenia, and Italy and Israel here in room 12, and so on and so forth. The first thing I think to decide between yourself was who you're going to serve, right? What kind of community? And I see a huge variety of answers: the elderly, local urban area citizens, children who do not have access to different language courses, immigrants or refugees, disabled people, young adults, a lot of different populations, childcare, resource-deprived students. Excellent. So it's like a student population and so many different focal points. I'm so excited to hear more about your ideas. So who wants to begin? We don't have much time. We have about 10 minutes to discuss this, but we would love to hear who you picked as your target audience, as your target community, what problem you want to address, and maybe you already have a name for your organization. Who wants to be first? Angela, you raised your hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So we thought about kids that are in foster care. They don't have the same opportunities as the other kids because they don't have like the parental figure to guide them. And it's normally like when you're a kid is where you can like have the bigger intervention because you're growing up and like you're developing and everything. And that's where I think we can work with them to I don't know, to make them have the same access as any other kid, so they have the same opportunities, you know?
Oh, wonderful. Angela, which room were you in?
13.
13. Okay, perfect. So let's see, we can see your contribution here. Do you have a name for your organization? So we have Spain and Slovenia working. Wow. On Bridge for Kids, for Children. Wonderful. You've written your statement and you started working on your key activities. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful start. I hope you get inspired and you will continue working on this next week. Thank you for sharing. Hala from Israel, would you introduce your idea next? Which room? Maybe I can post it to everyone.
We were in room 6.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't form so much information. We didn't present so much, but the idea was about equality between genders. I thought as a Druze girl living in a small village, it was important to show equality to young people. Like girls can do the same stuff as boys can. like don't feel like you're inside a box or something. But we didn't come with so much ideas, so maybe next week we will come.
Like you will continue, and it's nice to see Israel and Argentina collaborating on this important issue of gender equality. Thank you so much. Hadar from the Israeli Valley College. Which room?
Room 25.
Okay, let's find you. We can spotlight 25. Okay.
Yeah, so like you said, by the time we understood what to write, the breakout room was over. But we managed to address a problem in an audience, and we also have a name.
Wow, so your organization is called Brighter Futures, and it's going to be serving elementary school students, right?
Yes, but with difficulties like ADHD or dyslexia.
Dyslexia.
Yeah, difficulties like that. And we just started thinking about the mission statement, but we were cut in the middle. But basically, we want to use technology, AI, and maybe after school activities to help these children and to prevent things like fallout, feeling neglected from everybody else, and making sure these students could do simple technical missions in the school that requires focus, like for example, sit and write answers in a test.
Wonderful. Amazing ideas. You have a good starting point. So next week you will continue thinking about your plan and mission statement and everything. Wonderful. Thanks for sharing, Adar. Alex from Western Galilee College, thank you for raising your hand. Which break you represent?
We were in a breakout room 3.
Oh. Here we go.
Yeah, so we didn't come up with the name just with round of time, but we have our idea is people who know more than one or languages can start teaching and helping people who are just maybe of a lesser means or that doesn't have the same opportunities to study more languages, so they can do a community outreach and start teaching kids in more or less disenfranchised areas of cities, and just to help to give them this boost that knowing a second or even third language can give a person.
Wonderful. So you are your idea. So I see that instead of organization name, you kind of it's your idea of students, right? From higher education, high school students who already have the knowledge of different languages. They can start peer teaching, right? Co-teaching, supporting younger kids, and spreading this knowledge towards acquiring and learning different languages.
Yeah.
Pretty much amazing startup. So next week we are going to continue. Thank you, Alex. Inam, you're next.
Yeah, hi. Well, I thought of a NEO school. We were in room 22.
Thank you.
We called it a NEO school, and it's targeting parentless or fatherless students or abused children, not students, abused children or fatherless or parentless children. And the idea is basically to have a school where we teach them from kindergarten to high school. The reason we chose this is because we have like a double goal. First of all, the education system is failing, as we all know. Students arrive at high school with really no education. And I think the problem originates in elementary and secondary school. So maybe this new school would actually become a pilot to see, if students were educated properly from younger age, what would happen. Okay. And I don't know if you're aware of the PISA exam, where actually the results are not really pleasant. So maybe and also we can actually teach them certain subjects. We don't have to teach geography, history, whatever, because the core problem, in my opinion and many opinion, is that students are incapable of understanding the understanding written materials. So I don't know, I'm thinking about concentrating on the literacy, okay, whether it's AI literacy or written literacy, and see what comes from this experience. So
thank you very much for sharing. And where are you from?
I'm from Jerusalem.
And you had some other students. Please go back to your post and add those ideas on Padlet so we can see them. We had some another raised hand, and I see that you started adding images. Wonderful. If more of you want to share, we probably have time for just one more idea that you want.
Elena, I think we have to close the session.
Okay.
Okay.
So Yoel wanted to make an announcement. So it's okay. We will continue working on this next week. Next week we'll talk about educational leadership. And
Yeah, but sorry, I mean, if you want to say some closing words, and then Yoel will.
Yeah, please, if you want to say some closing comments, and after that I will move to my. I will say what I have to say.
Well, I will post everything on Moodle. You will have the slides. There is a conclusion slide with some encouragement for you to continue working on this. But you know what? I will start with the conclusion slide next week when we continue working on it. So that's fine. We want to finish on time, and Yoel has to present something. So thank you very much for your attention and your active participation.
Okay, so thank you very much, Elena, for this inspiring. Yeah, you start to inspire, and I think that you have for this extremely insightful and inspiring session, along with your three panelists. I think it was really diversified and great to hear the story. You sought to you actually exemplified, I think, grassroots leadership through grassroots leadership. The people that actually do it, and the stories that they brought to the table. I think it was a session that could have easily lasted 8 or 10 or 12 hours instead of 2. And it's not the last time you see Elena, of course. So
Just a small question, comment for you and Elena.
Yeah.
Do they need to remember the room number for next week? Is it going to be the same room numbers?
So the Padlet had the first question writing their name next to the breakout room number. They will be able to restore it from Padlet. And if anyone wants to post a number of how aware you are now about grassroots leadership and how inspired you're more than welcome. From 0 to 10, please, your rating. Now, Yoel, back to you.
So you are most welcome to. So first of all, please do remember you will continue working with your peers in the group in the teams that have been formed for these 2 sessions. And regarding the main assignment, we welcome, first of all, students from Uninettuno University in Italy. Guys, we know that you haven't received yet your password and your username for the Moodle in the course, but that will be resolved shortly. We are working on it. Furthermore, you have been assigned to actually existing teams, and there are two new teams that are comprised of students from Uninetuno, but you all received last night actually emails assigning you to new teams alongside an updated version of the instructions for the main assignment. The main thing that is updated in that version, and I'm speaking to everybody, is the recommended time frames. That is up until now, we are the 31st of March. You should be you should preferably have already chosen formed a WhatsApp group, introduce yourselves, and set your eyes on one or several optional leaders to interview over the next week. Please contact them, and so on and so forth. You have the dates when everything should be done. If you haven't done it so far, please do. But we added some dates, some starting dates, and some deadlines, which are for you, in order to which are intended for to make them actually the main assignment more spaced, to make it more digestible up until the final session on May 12th, when you have to submit the work and present a few minutes, a short clip from your work to everybody. So that's about it. If you have any question, please remain in the session and we'll answer all of them. There are 240 students in the course. Some are joining in, others are dropping out. It's all very. Some of it is dynamic. If you have any problem, please write me, and we will answer each and every one of you. So that's so the teams that are working in the main assignments are teams of 6. And regarding the smaller assignments, it will be also worked out over the next week and presented in the next session. So those who have a question, please stay. Regarding, I would like to thank again Elena and her guests for this amazing session. To all our Muslim students, Eid Mubarak, and see you next week.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Courtney and Zada, for staying up until now, waiting and being ready to ask questions. Thank you so much.
Courtney and Zada and Naeem, of course.
Thank you for having me, and I really loved hearing everybody's ideas for a social impact project. I would be excited to hear how they continue to develop. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Elena.
Keep you posted. Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate your time and your inspiration. Thank you so much.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Now in Israel.
The time now is 6 o'clock.
יואל, יש לי שאלה.
Yeah, can you ask it in English, because other may have.
Yes, of course, no problem. But it's about my group. It's not like a common question. So group number 31, we still have only 4 members. The girl that you tried to join to our group, she emailed that she doesn't want to participate, and she unfortunately will not. So what do we do?
Let me pause the recording. Thank you. 1 second. We can stop the recording, right, Yoel? And then
Yes, absolutely. We're going to stop the recording and